Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to another video. I'd like to start off today's video by thanking you very much for all your wonderful comments on last Friday's video, and to remind you that you have until late Friday or early Saturday to get in some more comments if you want more ballots in the draw, because around about that time I'm going to collate all those and pick the winner, and it'll be ready for next Sunday's vlog. So best of luck with all that, and we'll see how that all turns out next Sunday. Now the reason why I'm showing you this clip is this tank is going to be the focus of not one but two experiments. As you can see, all the plants in here are dead except a sprig of Java fern and a couple of species of algae. And I'm going to show a method without doing any water changes to get this ready for plants again, and that is going to be coming up shortly. And then after that I'm going to strip and sterilize that tank, because it is going to be the one I'm going to be doing the experiments with which filter is better at getting rid of ammonia when you so I'm going to take some ammonia chloride, put a set amount in it, and see how long it takes for various filters to remove it. And that's going to be coming up again as well. Now the reason I'm showing you this is the tank that had all the duckweed in it, and as you can see the duckweed's always still gone. And as I mentioned in that video, once the duckweed is gone, the goldfish have started in on the Java fern. So that's all going to get redone and set up for something else. And if you're wondering what this is, the last, probably 3-4 months or more even, I've been trying to find a method of doing microscopy. I bought a really cheap setup off of Amazon, and it proved to be crappy, worth the money I guess. But I recently acquired one that is still quite inexpensive, but as you can see, these are prepared slides that came with it. And it actually has good focus. I managed to, it has a clip that I can put my camera on, or my phone I should say, and it takes really good videos. Now I have lots of stuff planned for this, but I did a few little quick things with it. This is just some green water, and I just put under a slide. It's not prepared in any way, but you can see the little guys moving around. This is free-floating algae, and obviously there's other microorganisms there as well. And this is at quite low magnification, so I plan on doing a lot more work with this in the future, and I'm going to show you the microscope I'm using, of course, and the one that was terrible. But as you can see, these are microworms. It does really quite well. So I think it's going to be quite useful for a lot of different things. I definitely want to check out what's going on in the fish tanks, and also not just that. There's things like seeing unhatched fish eggs. There's just endless things that one can check out in an aquarium. So that's all coming up, and I just wanted to show it, like I said, a few clips of a few things, because it was a new thing I had, so I wanted to test it out, make sure it worked. And you see, these are microworms, and then the next clip is going to be vinegar eels, and it's just interesting to see the size comparison between these guys and the vinegar eels, because obviously the vinegar eels are more of a smaller first food for fish. I didn't bother going through the process of separating out from the culture, so the stuff you see there is just the mulm that floats around in the containers. But as you can see, this is the same magnification, and they are quite a bit smaller. And like I said, this is the kind of thing I want to do. I did also, in the next few clips, take some mulm out of the bottom of one aquarium, and also the mulm out of one of the culture aquariums, the one that has, supposed to be Daphnia, but it turns out it's pretty much just shrimp and scuds, and also, as I've now found out, a bunch of other microorganisms. So there is lots of stuff that this is going to be very useful for. This clip here is, again, vinegar eels, but there is always around the edge of the cultures of the vinegar eels, the big jugs that you've seen, there always seems to be a little bit of white film right around the edge, and I've always suspected that it was, vinegar eels and a bit of maybe bacteria or whatever else, or mold. And as you can see, there's plenty of vinegar eels in there. This is a higher magnification of it, that's all. And I wanted to see if that were the case. And again, that's the kind of thing that a microscope is really good for. Just if you have a suspicion of something, it just helps figure that out. Now obviously there's no phase contrast here. I haven't fixed any of these, stained any of them, so these are all just what it can get. And again, keep in mind, it is a cheap microscope, but it is actually giving me reasonably good results here. And couldn't tell you what that was, but it is in the mulm in the bottom of one of the cultures. And like I said, I took some much thicker, pastier sections of it, and that's coming up in the next one. It just proves that there's an awful lot of small things in here that you can feed to baby fish and that sort of stuff. Now all I've done here is, you saw that flip, I just flipped to a higher magnification. There are 3 objective lenses on this microscope, and it gets far higher than I think I'm going to be able to do for this purpose here, unless I get right into, like I said, fixing these things and getting them stained so you can actually have some contrast and stuff. But I just want, like, this is just me playing around with it, and you can see there's lots of little things bobbing here and there, and it's just, like I said, just the first steps of this. I wanted to give you guys a look at how good it works. I mean, I will show you clips from the other microscope, or well, we'll call it a microscope, but it was a digital setup all by itself, so you can actually just go straight from it to like the computer, and it wasn't good enough. I could actually get better stuff just with my phone by itself. Now this is like the thick mulm from the bottom of my scud and cherry shrimp culture, and that is just tons and tons of microorganisms. You can just see them all moving around in there, and this is actually ideal food for so many small fish. This is just like perfectly what I would like to see. Nice and dense in population, and plenty of things just for the fish to eat. And this is what, like I said, what's going to be coming up later on. Things are going to start when I start doing a lot more breeding, and you can see I'll be able to show you, hopefully, hopefully I won't be getting too ambitious about this, but hopefully I'll be able to show you fish eating this stuff, like the tiny fry. But I'll have to set up something specific for that, because whenever you do this kind of magnification, you only get to see a very thin slice of what's going on. So you may not, it may take a great deal of effort to get that to work out properly. But again, that's something else I have coming up in the near future, hopefully for you guys to look at. So as always, the last 3 clips of this is the ongoing plant growth experiment. Nothing really new to report, except this is the straight gravel one, and you can see the red Luigi has reached the surface like a week later, 2 weeks later than the best of the other ones. Again, not really significant, but let's just say it's anyway, we're going to get to that at the end of this month. I really don't want to cover too much here. I just really want to show you this because I want to have the constant record, and once I get to the end of this month, I'm going to go through this really in depth, and you'll get to get all my opinions of each of them at that point. But just have a look at it. I mean, the fish are fine. I mean, this is basically an aquarium with plants in it, and as expected, the shrimp, the fish, everything is just doing pretty much what you would expect. There's no I guess people have asked, there are no fertilizers in this, there's no CO2 in this. These are just plants growing in water, and in that case just gravel, and in this case soil, and the final one with the plant growth substrate. And as you can see, it's teeming with life, and everybody's doing well. This one is probably a bit more than I would want for the soil version of this. I think what I would do is not put in the large container over the filter, and I think without that the growth might be a little bit slower, but the water would be clearer as well. So as I said last time, this experiment is going to get repeated in the 5 tanks on the other side, and one of them is going to be a soil one, but instead of having the soil with all the extra soil, it's just going to be the soil without that big chunk of it in there. So it's just going to be in the pots alone, and that should be a little bit different, so I wanted to show you that. And here we have the final tank with the plant growth substrate. And as I said, I'm going to cover almost all the details on this in the end, but you can see for yourself how things are going in here. And remember, next Sunday is going to also have the draw, and you have till, like I said, the end of Saturday to get those in, and best of luck with all that. So, as always, if you like this style of video, please like and or subscribe, and don't forget to leave comments as to future ideas, things you'd like to see, stuff I might miss, because there's so many things. I have so many things on the go that sometimes things just slip through my fingers and I don't remember to do updates on them. So if I missed one, definitely let me know about that. A gentleman asked me about an update on the 175-gallon saltwater tank. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do that one because it was a victim of COVID, and I no longer have that client because so many of them are going to go out of business. So anyway, hopefully this year will be better. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and bye for now.